Hello everyone, welcome to Alfonso Academy. I am Sir Peter Alfonso, and today we are starting with a new chapter, a chapter of chemistry, periodic classification of elements. So at the start of the chapter in Can You Recall, there are 4 questions asked. The first question, what are the states of matter? We have studied this earlier, that there are 4 states of matter: solid, liquid, gases and plasma. So in solids the particles are very tightly packed together around each other. So the particles in solids do not move much, but the electrons of the atoms are under constant motion, and because of that atoms do vibrate, but atoms are fixed to a position, certain position. So there is not much movement in particles of solid. The solids have high density and definite shape, mass and volume. In liquids the particles are more loosely bound as compared to solids, and that is why the particles in a liquid flow, giving it a indefinite shape and lower density. In gases there is great deal of space, and the particles of gases have very high kinetic energy. So that is why the particles of the gases spreads out. So the gas spreads out very easily, but it can be compressed through a certain pressure by reducing the volume of the container. So the gases does not have any definite shape. And the fourth state, plasma. Naturally we don't get this state on Earth's surface, but in space stars are the superheated balls of plasma. Plasma consists of highly charged particles with extremely high kinetic energy. Second question, what are the different types of elements? Elements can be classified into 3 groups: metals, non-metals, and the third, metalloids, which is a mixture of metals and non-metals, which shows the properties, some properties of metals as well as non-metals. It is called as metalloid. Third question, what is the smallest particle of matter called as? The smallest particles of the matter is an atom. Atom consists of protons and neutrons which are in the nucleus, and electrons are around the nucleus. The mass of an atom is supposed to be concentrated in the nucleus. The number of protons in the atom give the particular atom its atomic number. And the fourth question, what is the difference between molecules of elements and molecules of compounds? In the molecules of elements, atoms are same. In the molecules of compounds, atoms are different. They are not identical at all. So if you consider example of oxygen, O2, which is a molecule of an element oxygen, the atoms are same. There are 2 atoms of oxygen, O2. And if you consider example of water, which is a compound H2O, the atoms are different. 1 atom of oxygen and 2 atoms of hydrogen. Around the year 1800, only 30 elements were known, but as time passed on, more and more number of elements were discovered. Also the information on the properties of the elements was gathered. Then since there was rise in the number of elements, initially the elements were classified as metals and non-metals. Then another class was noticed which showed off the properties of metals and as well as non-metals. So that class was named as metalloids. But the number of elements kept on increasing, and the scientists felt the need for classification of these elements, and they started classifying the elements as per their methods. In the year 1817, which is 1829 with respect to the modern calendar, a German chemist, Johann Dobereiner, classified the elements. He suggested that the properties of the elements are related with their atomic masses. He made groups of 3 elements having similar chemical properties, and he called them triads. He arranged the elements, these 3 elements, in the increasing order of their atomic masses, and showed that if you add the atomic mass of the first element with that of the third element and take out their mean, you get the atomic mass of the middle element. So if I show this column for element 1, element 3, and this group for element 2, then if you add the mass of the first element with that of the third element and divide it by 2, you get the atomic mass of the middle element, which is the second element. This was Dobereiner's triad. He called this element where he arranged in one group as triads. So it states that the atomic mass of the middle element of a triad is the arithmetic mean of the atomic masses of the other two elements. So we'll see here exactly how it works. So mean is A plus B by 2. This is A, this is B. So element 1 actual atomic mass is termed as A. Element 3 actual atomic mass is termed as B. And we have the actual atomic mass of element 2 written over here. And this is the formula by Doberian's triads. So here we are having in this triad, the first triad we are having as lithium, sodium and potassium. Lithium's atomic mass is 6.9, potassium atomic mass is 39.1, and the actual atomic mass of sodium is 23.0, so it is 23. So how we are getting the mean? A plus B by 2. So here we'll get it as A is nothing but 6.9 plus B is nothing but 39.1 divided by 2. So 39.1 plus 6.9 is 46. Is 46. 46 divided by 2 is 23. So by Doberian's triads we are getting the atomic mass of sodium as 23 and actual atomic mass is also 23. So he termed this group as a triad. And then next, calcium, strontium, barium. Let's try this. Calcium is 40.1, its atomic mass is 40.1. So 40.1 plus barium's atomic mass is 137.3. 137.3. So divided by 2. That will give us the arithmetic mean. So it will be equal to 137 plus 40 is 177. So 177.4. So if you divide that by 2, you will get it as 88.7. 88.7. So it's approximately equal to 87.6, which is the actual atomic mass of strontium. So he also termed this as the second triad. Then chlorine, bromine and iodine. So if you can see this group, they are all having the same chemical properties. All three of them are halogens. So they were placed together seeing their chemical properties. Like these elements, chlorine, bromine, iodine form diatomic molecules. Like chlorine will form Cl2, bromine will form Br2, iodine will form I2. Molecules with 2 atoms. So they were placed together by Johann Doberian and then they were arranged with the increasing order of their atomic masses. So chlorine 35.5, iodine 126.9. So chlorine 35.5 plus iodine is 126.9 and then divided by 2. So if you add this 126.9 plus 35.5, it gives you 162.4. 162.4 divided by 2 is 81.2. So he named this as another triad: chlorine, bromine and iodine. Next, sulfur, selenium, tellurium. Atomic mass of sulfur is 32.1. Atomic mass of tellurium is 127.6. So 32.1 plus 127.6 divided by 2. If you add this 32.1 plus 127.6, you will get it as 159.7 and then divide by 2, you will get it as 79.85, which is approximately equal to the actual atomic mass of selenium, which is 79. So again he showed that if you add the atomic mass of the first element with that of the third element and then divide by 2, you get the atomic mass of the middle element. So he named this as another triad: sulfur, selenium and tellurium. So like this he arranged the elements, first seeing their properties, and then he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses, and then he showed that if you add the atomic mass of the first element with that of the third element and then divide by 2, you get the atomic mass of the middle elements. So he arranged seeing their properties. Like lithium, sodium, potassium have many similar properties. All three of them have low density. They are very light, they are very soft, they float on water. They can be easily cut with the help of the knife. On cutting, they shine. They are highly malleable. So they were placed together and he called them as triads. Such triads were made, but only 5 triads were found out. And what about the rest of the elements? They could not be classified. So this was the main drawback of Doberanier's triads, and Doberannier failed to classify all the elements. After Doberannier, when Doberanier's triads failed to classify all the elements, the English scientist John Newlands tried to classify the elements. He correlated the atomic masses of the elements with the properties of the elements in a different way. He arranged all the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses. He started with hydrogen, which had atomic mass as 1, and ended up with thorium, which had atomic mass as 232. He found that every 8th element had similar properties with the first element. For example, if you consider lithium as the first element and count 8 from there, you will get sodium as the 8th element. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lithium as the first element, then you will get sodium as the 8th element. Both these elements had similar properties. Then if you consider example of magnesium and calcium, magnesium is first element, second, third, fourth, fifth, 6, 7, 8. Calcium is 8th element. Both the elements have similar properties. Suppose if you consider boron and aluminium, both the elements had similar properties. Newlands compared this similarity with the octaves in the music. He said the similarities of 8th element and the first element as law of octaves. In the Western or Indian music, there are 7 main notes. Like if you take example of Western music, then do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. These are the 7 main notes. And when you finish with this all full 7 main notes, you arrive back to the first note. Like if you take example of Indian music, then sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. These are the 7 main notes. And as you sing those notes, the frequency goes on increasing. Like if you try sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, the frequency goes on increasing, and when you arrive back at the initial note, which is sa, the frequency is doubled. So when you completely sing this all 7 notes and come back to the first note, only the frequency changes, but the note is the same. This collection of full notes, full 7 notes, is called as saptak. And when you complete this saptak, you arrive back to the next saptak with the initial note as same note, only the frequency changes. After the completion of second saptak, you arrive back to the third one, only the frequency changes, but the saptak remains the same. Similarly, when you complete first 7 elements, you arrive back at the 8th element, which shows similar properties to the first element. So that is why this law was named to be law of octaves by Newlands. Although Newlands classification was better classification than Doberanier's triads, it did have many limitations. The first one, it was applicable only up to calcium. Means till calcium, the elements in the same notes showed similar properties. Like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, all three showed similar properties. But after calcium, the properties showed by the elements in the same notes were different. Chromium showed different properties to that of aluminium, or boron, or iron showed different properties to that of sulfur and oxygen. Here iron is a metal, oxygen and sulfur are both non-metals, so it did not match at all. So this was the first limitation. Second limitation, 2 elements in one box. There were total 56 boxes and total 62 elements. So 2 elements had to be placed in each box, one box. Like for example, cobalt, nickel was placed in one box. Like this, many elements were placed, 2 elements were placed in one box. So no place for new elements. Next limitation. So new elements were discovered. They didn't have any place because the total number of boxes were only 56. Then nickel and cobalt was placed with were placed with halogens and iron was placed with oxygen and sulfur. So nickel and cobalt, which are purely metals, were placed with the halogens. So it did not match the properties of these halogens. Cobalt and nickel did not match at all with these halogens, and iron was placed with the non-metals, oxygen and sulfur. Iron is a metal which had to be placed actually with cobalt and nickel. So these were the limitations of Newland's law of octaves, and there was a further need for better classification of elements, which was done by Russian scientist Dmitry Mendeleev, which we will see in the next video of periodic classification of elements. Hope you have understood whatever I have taught you in this first video, and please subscribe my channel if you have not done, and please like this video, share this video. Thanks for watching.